This is the Hanging with A podcast.
What's up? What's up? This is the Hanging with A podcast coming to you always from Brockton, Massachusetts. This is episode 71 of the Hanging with A podcast. Before we get started, like I do all the time, I just want to say thank you to everybody out there that has been subscribing, that has been liking, that has been sharing, making comments under my episodes. I really, really greatly appreciate that. The Hanging with A podcast is at 70,100 subscribers on YouTube. As I tell you guys all the time, that does not happen without the love and support of all of you. So I appreciate everybody that just subscribed and everybody that has been enjoying my podcast. You can find the Hang With A podcast, YouTube, Spotify. You can follow me on Instagram. You can follow me on Snapchat. You can follow me on Facebook. You can follow me on TikTok. The Hang With A podcast is, like I say all the time, is all over the place. So just make sure that you like and you subscribe to this video. I have a very, very special guest. I've been trying to get this young woman on my podcast for the longest time. I'm a big fan of her music. I'm a big fan of her sound. I call her the Queen of Boom Bap. That's her nickname for me. I just think there's not a lot of female MCs that are doing what she is doing. So I appreciate her taking her time out to do this interview with me. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I introduce Chyna Beajing.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
You're very welcome. I appreciate you. For the people that may not know who you are, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
So my name is Chyna Beajing. I'm from Lynn, Mass. Definitely top tier MC, as well as an assistant principal by day. So, I live a couple of different lives, different roles. But that's what makes me me.
That's cool. How was it growing up in Lynn? I used to teach in Lynn like 6 years, maybe like 6 or 7 years ago now. So I know the area a little bit, but I always, it's always like asking people that live there that's from there, because I love Lynn and it was good to me when I was there. So how was it for you growing up in Lynn?
It was good. I think that like Lynn is very diverse, not just like with the people, but with what it offers. I think that, and like now I teach in Lynn as well. So like I just like Lynn is home. I think that this is where I developed many of my passions, pushed on many of my skills, and yeah. But what school did you teach at?
So at the time when I was teaching at Lynn, I was living in Peabody at that time. So I taught at Kip Academy Lynn on High Rock Street. This is yeah.
I remember you told me that.
Yeah, this is before they added all those cool new things that they have added to it. It was a middle school, high school. I tell people all the time, I feel like when I worked at KIP, that's when I really understood like what it meant to be a teacher. And I worked around so many incredible people, so many great educators, leaders, and it kind of shaped who I am as a teacher now. So shout out to KIP Academy Lynn. I have nothing but love for KIP schools in general, but KIP Academy Lynn holds a special place in my heart because I feel like that's where I grew as a teacher, and also, my son was born around that time, so me coming and becoming a father, that all happened when I was working at KIP.
Oh, that's dope. Dope. What's crazy is that like not only do I teach there, but like I also went to school there too.
Okay.
So like similar to you, I feel like I feel like I've grown as a teacher there, but also grown as a person. Like I feel like kids working with youth in general teaches you a lot, and it's really, I don't know, it goes into character development. Like you're there teaching them, but you also gain something back.
Yeah, absolutely. So definitely much love to KIP. What inspired you to be an MC?
I think many things, like, people I feel like people just when you do music, they just think that like you develop music because like you're just interested in music. But I think that so many different things outside of music pushes me to be an MC, and like I started rapping like before like I could even like really like put words together. I used to just say random stuff in the car and like my family. And then like in elementary school is really where like I developed a passion for it. And I think that like one, it's like seeing like what hip hop is visually, but like also like just different life experiences and having an outlet to like write that down and communicate that to others in a different way. Like growing up, like I love Little Kim, um, and then like every year for Halloween, like starting like in kindergarten, I would ask my mom, I want to be Little Kim, I want to be Little Kim. So she used to put the little pink wig and a little mole right there, and then like it just took off from there. And I think as I continued to grow as an MC, different things started inspiring me, like not just like different genres of music. Like I listen to opera. I feel like there's different things that people wouldn't expect that does make you a better rapper, that inspires you. Reading books, watching movies, like different things like that. So just having a outlet where I can paint my own stories, but musically, I think that that's kind of what inspired me in terms of like just having an outlet to put my voice out there and yeah.
Yeah, no, that's dope. Um I think, I fell in love with your music and your sound because I feel like when I look around and like I listen to all types of different rap, underground, mainstream, men, women. A lot of men don't listen to women hip hop. I don't know why they're missing out, but like when I heard
Yeah.
you like rap for the first time, I was like, your voice, the way that you rhyme, it was just different. And I also feel like what you're doing, I don't feel like a lot of female MCs are doing, if that makes sense. Like I feel like there's a lot of copying and a lot of this person doing the same thing that this person's doing. But when I listen to you, I just feel like nobody's doing what you're doing though. And I think that's what makes you unique. And I think that's like, I mean, I just feel like you have your own lane. You know what I mean? If that makes sense.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense. I definitely appreciate that.
Yeah.
I think that it took some time to develop that, but also took time to be comfortable in the fact that I have my own lane. Because, like, I think often as artists we compare ourselves to others,
Yeah.
and like, there was times in which I was like, I felt like I sounded too masculine. And then there was times that I felt like I sounded like too Nicki Minaj or something like that. So now I feel like I found my place where I could do what I want to do and it not be trying to tailor to others. So
Yeah.
I definitely appreciate that because
Yeah.
it definitely took time to get to that place.
No, no problem at all. It's it's great. Who were some of your musical influences growing up?
Definitely my younger years, like elementary, Little Kim. I grew up in the era of like Nicki Minaj, Lil Wayne, so those are definitely my favorite artists growing up. But I think that like with that being my favorite artist, there was different moments in my life where different music genres inspired me to be who I am now. Like Lost Boys, Renee, like things like that. Like I used to listen to just like MC Light. Like I had all different types of stuff like on my iPod, and those I would play with like different voices to kind of see like where I fit in because it was like it's hard because when I would do the trap stuff when I do trap like sometimes you can kind of hear that like underground influence in my trap but that doesn't always go with all trap songs, you know what I mean? So like also too, what was it called? When it was like the female battle rappers. I used to listen to Lady Luck and Remy Ma.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, just hours of that on the. It was back in the day. You take all this stuff off of LimeWire, and then I would listen to that stuff for hours and just different like. I don't feel like those artists like Nicki Minaj, Lil Wayne definitely like inspired me. Nicki Minaj is my favorite artist, but I think in terms of my music, different moments inspire me, like different things. Like I just finished watching Yellowstone, and now like I wanna Yellowstone on I don't know what it's on, but it's about like the Wild West and all of that stuff, and then like how it's still going on now. But that's like inspired me to do a whole album on just like killing shit, and it's just like I think different moments more so, but like in terms of aesthetic sound, like Nicki Minaj is somebody who I feel like she developed her own lane.
Yeah.
Like, many people try to compare her to Little Kim, but she's her own thing. With the sounds and stuff like that, and Lil Wayne too. Like there are people who bend the box, and I like people who are like that in general, because I feel like more things that are unorthodox that you don't see as a norm. That's what I inspire to be. Like, nobody would really expect for an assistant principal to be rapping the way that I do,
Yeah.
or expecting a woman to be rapping the way that I do. And I like when Black people are able to step outside of the stereotype. And I think that, yeah, that's what I inspire to be with the music in general.
Yeah. That's incredible. Um, Chyna Beajing, where did your rap name come from? Like, how did you come up with that rap name?
So my real name is Chyna. That's my mom gave me. And I went as Chyna for so long. Like Chyna was my rap name, that was it. And then I think what got complicated is one, there's a lot of people who go by Chyna and their name is not Chyna, but there's a lot of Chynas, and I wanted to separate myself from my government name, because like I wear many hats. I'm like a teacher, a daughter, like all of these things. And I felt like it was getting conflicted with my music. I'm thinking like maybe I shouldn't post this because somebody else is gonna see this or somebody's gonna be that. So I feel like I added on Baejing so that I don't know, it's that person, that side of me that I can just be raw and be who I am. And
Hmm.
like, there's a place for everything, and I'm not going to censor my art anymore. So China Beijing is basically one, to stand out from others because there's nobody like me. And then I think it's also a reminder to myself that my goals, my aspirations, and the person that I see myself as comes before um, other people's opinions.
Okay. No, I love that. Great response. I love that. When did you fall in love with hip hop?
I want to say forever. Like I can't remember when I didn't love hip hop. Like I said, like when I was younger, like I would just be in the kitchen rapping about random stuff before like I could talk. I was just freestyling in the back of the car with my family when we going places, performing at family gatherings, just always. I think that is definitely a part of my life that I can always rely on. And not everybody has that. So I'm definitely grateful for that.
Yeah, I mean, I've been a fan of it for a really, really long time. It's been beautiful because I've been around for a while, so I've been able to kind of like see like different decades of like rap and different decades of hip hop and like and all those different things. So it's like it's been unique to like see this generation's version of music, my generation that I grew up on, even before me. So it's just like always nice to like kind of like see it evolving and being around for like the transition and like just to see like sounds coming back that were around when I was younger. So like I've been a fan of it for a long time. I don't know when I fell in love with it, but I've been a fan of it since a long time. I want to say around like the 90s, I would say.
Right.
So do you have like what's the first rap song or first rap album that you felt connected to?
This is it's a tough answer because I've had different periods of my life
Yeah.
that that count on different things that I couldn't say it now, but I don't know. I've had so many things. Like for example, when Little Mama came out, right? I had that album, and then like I really tried to love it, but there was like certain things because I love Little Mama, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
there
yeah.
was like just it was just like certain periods that I clung on to different things, and I feel like in my younger years that I was more so like caught up in like the mainstream hip hop and like Nicki Minaj, Pink Friday, like that's my favorite album ever. Like even now, like I could rap that whole thing from the beginning to the end. Um, and then like, what goes with what you're going through. Like YNW Melly, um, when I was going through a breakup, that was my shit. And then I knew that like that from front to back, I was like murder on my mind. Like so I feel like I needed different albums for different things and different experiences in my life. The Pink Friday album pushed me to be like, okay, China, like I want to be a rapper. Like this is what I want to do, but I want to be a little bit, I want to be different. Like I'm inspired by Nicki Minaj so much, but I can't embody who somebody else is. I got to find who I am in it. And so I think that's what it was. It inspired me to be like, I could be different and outside of the box. And I think that, a lot of women hear Nicki Minaj, a lot of women that want to be rappers hear Nicki Minaj, and they be like, they try to be that, but nobody could be Nicki Minaj. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like
Hmm.
she is who she is, and I think that's what you take from it. Like you could be who you are, you could be unorthodox as well, and like try different things. Like I remember when I listened to "Moment for Life" by Nicki Minaj. Now you know what she says, like I sprinkle holy water upon a vampire, like back then we was like, oh, that's crazy, like that's that shit. But then now you're like, you know what? Nicki Minaj can say some wild shit and she owns it, and that's what makes it fire. So it's like, not being afraid of other opinions, and I feel like that's really what that album did for me. And to also have an album that's fire from beginning to end, not a lot of people can do that.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like, and like we'll talk about, um, the latest album that you just finished creating. Um, I feel like a lot of people don't make albums. You know what I mean? Like they'll make a jingle, they'll make a hit, but then you listen to the album and it's like, that's it. That's their best song on there. Um,
Right.
so it's nice to see, and that's why I love underground hip hop so much. And I say all the time, underground hip hop is the best hip hop to me out right now because I feel like a lot of you make albums. Like a lot of y'all are making albums and good albums
Right.
at that. You know what I mean? It's not like y'all just putting stuff together. Like y'all are putting together great quality albums. And I'm always going to stand on that. I think that, mainstream is mainstream, but if somebody asks me right now somebody asked me to name the top five mainstream albums, I probably couldn't do that, but I can definitely name 20 of underground hip hop albums that came out in the last month, in the last year. So I don't know. I just appreciate the fact how much y'all love the art. I feel like y'all love
Yeah.
the art, and I feel like y'all doing it with a lot of passion also.
Right, right. And to build onto that, so like well what you're saying, because I did grow up with mainstream, right?
Hmm.
So it is like I can name to you certain songs that inspired me, like certain songs that I listened to during certain periods of my life. But like you said, it is hard to be like, okay, what was that album? But like so that's why when I think about Nicki Minaj Pink Friday, it's like it inspired me to take this path. Like for example, too, Lil Wayne Carter 3, that's my shit.
Yeah.
That also inspired me to take that path. And then I think that I got to a certain point where I stopped listening to music as much as I did. Cause like, you know how like people always say, oh, the music back in my day. But I really feel like the music, like, in terms of mainstream, it took a weird turn, like a pop turn. And so like I feel like when I started like connecting with other people and like doing renaissance and underground hip hop, that's where I pivoted and started to find my passion again, because I did lose that for a while, like because I was rapping for like ever since I was younger. Like I did 106 in Park, Freestyle Friday, like all of that type of stuff. And then but it got to a point where I just got bored. And then I felt like once I found that underground lane, like that's when the passion started kicking up again, because what mainstream, I feel like there's not only so much you can do, but it's like kind of like always the same. Whereas with underground, you find so many different people doing different things, different sounds. Like not everybody sounds the same. When you craft the album, you're not just putting a group of songs together. You're putting songs together that's gonna send a message or a visual. Like you're thinking about the artwork is just as important as the song. Like the rollout is just as important as everything else. Like there's more that goes into it. It's orchestrated. It's not like, all right, I got this song, let me release it, put a little cover art. Like it's very detailed, and I think that's what makes it art and separates it from mainstream. And that, because that's what I was doing. I used to do like only one song a year. Like I would do one song a year and think that, oh, that's I'm gonna make it like this is the song right here, and it's like it's not like that. And now I produce so many songs because I don't feel as limited, because when you make mainstream music, like I feel like I'm making it geared to a certain audience.
Yeah.
Like this gotta turn people up, they gotta dance, I gotta talk about certain things. Whereas in underground, I found my place because I could be raw. I could talk about what I want to talk about. I could talk about things that I experienced and not be like for it not to be too much. Because if I said the same things that I say now on a mainstream beat, it's not gonna take to like the girls turning up. It's not gonna take to like that club music, because what I'm saying, I'm not saying the same shit like, get on the floor, sit there, do a little more. Like it's like you making the people dance in terms of mainstream,
Yeah.
and like talking about the same topics. Whereas in underground, like I've raps that some verses go for like 2 minutes long. Like I feel like it's like never ending. Like I can see myself continuing and continuing and also growing. Like I've never grown like so much in this short amount of time that I have been doing this type of music. Like even from the album that I just put out, like the album that's coming, it's just like sometimes I don't even like the fact that it's me. Like it's just crazy to me. Like
Yeah.
just because I work with like many people, like the males, many mention males, ST Knack. ST has actually been like really pushing me in terms of not writing, but like flows and cadence and all of that stuff. Like so, like knowing how to splash, but now I know how to splash and incorporate it into my regular flow and things like that. So like I didn't see myself growing in mainstream the way that I see myself growing in here. Even able to putting my career being an assistant principal, like I'm able to add some education into my raps, like teaching people shit, like and I wasn't doing that in the other lane.
Yeah. Why do you think you've had so much growth as of late? Like, like you just said, like, you just put out um a great album. I feel it was a great album. We're gonna talk about that in a second. But um why do you feel like, from that album to this album, like why do you think that is? Like why do you see so much growth in yourself now?
I feel like I see so much growth now is because like being pushed to be to be better than everybody else. Like
Yeah.
that's really my goal. Like
Yeah.
I want to be untouchable. Like when I go into a room, many like I'm not one of the I don't do girl stuff, like in terms of like um well, stereotypical girl stuff. Like if there's another woman in the room, especially in this lane, it's male dominated.
Yep.
um I want to get to know you. Like I want to sit next to you. Like and we talk. Like it's no back and forth. You be better than me. I be better than you. No, like I'm looking to be better than the niggas.
Yeah.
That's how I move. And I feel like SG Knack is a person who the way that he puts together words and flows is like phenomenal. And also like he's very diverse in terms of like what he not diverse, versatile in what he can do. Like he could do a mainstream song, he could do this song, and I want to be able to do everything. You know what I'm saying? And do everything with 100%. Not just like, oh, I tried this and like it's good. No, I tried this and it tops your shit, and I tried this too and it tops your shit. So
Yeah.
like I'm trying to learn the ins and outs of everything that like when I get a beat, like I can attack it and just be a powerhouse, not in my own lane, which I already am, but like no competition at all because I stand on my own. I know how to do what I do. I don't second guess myself, and that's what I'm learning is not to second guess myself. If I put something on the track and I think it's fire, and this person doesn't like it, fuck you. I like it. I fuck with it, and I'm gonna push it. And I think that's something that I lacked for a very long time. Like I was trying to get affirmation from others to think it's fire. Like for example, my mom loves the mainstream shit. She loves it. She does not like my underground stuff at all. Like at all. But then it took me and I'm like, damn. So then I felt for a long time in between two things because like my family's used to me rapping this way, but I enjoy rapping that way, and they're telling me no, this is better, but it's not better. And now I know that they don't know what I know and they can't do what I can do. So like now it's like I don't give a fuck about opinions. I know what I'm doing and I know that it's fire, and I think that took time to develop cuz like if you are insecure as an artist or if you need validation from others, it's going to stifle your growth.
Yeah.
Like there was times in which like I'll send cuz I'm like working on a project, the first project that I sent out, they said that oh like it sound very let me see like 90s flow I don't know like with the end rhymes with the a b like going down, and I'm like, you know what, that's true because like I'm just doing the beat, but opposed to being like damn this song sucks, like I'm done, I'm never gonna get this, I'm like taking the feedback like okay so what do you mean like oh, okay try some more words, try to do this. So it's like taking feedback as constructive and able to fix it, like that's different. But somebody saying oh no that's whack, I don't like it, that's an opinion. But feedback is different than opinions. Feedback makes you better, and so that's what I'm learning in terms of this lane, like this feedback that I've been getting from people that I admire and hope to like soon, which feels like hope to outspit, is like learning how to do different things with my voice, using my voice as an instrument, as opposed to just putting my 1 2 3 4, just keep on doing that because like that's easier to do, but it's not what's gonna outset me or make me as a better artist, if that makes sense.
No, that makes a lot of sense. That definitely makes a lot of sense. Um, Ninth Wonder, which was one of my favorite albums in 2024. It actually was on my list. I think I did like a top 10 list albums that came out in 2024, and your album was on there. I think I've listened to that album in the ground. I listened to it faithfully when it came out. I know you sent me like a unreleased copy, which I listen to that also a lot. I love the album. I love the sound. Talk to me a little bit about why you named it Ninth Wonder, and just talk to me a little bit about the creative process, like what went behind um, that album. Because I mean, I've had to pick like my favorite tracks off that album. I love SmackDown. I love She Got That, China Season, and then I like the closing track, The Ninth Wonder. Love the whole album, but those are my favorite tracks. So talk to me a little bit about like just the process of creating that album.
So the process, so it's called the Ninth Wonder, because to pay homage to China the wrestler. When I was growing up, like I love China the wrestler, and I see the story. Like obviously she had a tragic end, but also didn't get the things that she deserved, and I feel like that album is like basically saying like this is a stepping stone, this is me, I'm gonna get what I deserve, and like y'all are gonna see me. um like what I bring is something that other people can't bring, and I uplift you niggas is really what I think that that album says. Just like when Chyna stepped foot on the scene, she made a lot of dudes look better just because of her presence alone. let alone what she can do and the talent that she had. And unfortunately, that wasn't seen. And and I want my shit to be seen and to lead a path not for other people to follow, but a path for others to be inspired to create their own. And I think that that's more so what the album is. It's like, I'm here. It took a long time to get here. Many people overlooked me. Like even in the last track, The Ninth Wonder, like I talk my shit at the end.
Yeah.
Um, you know, a lot of people overlook me, and also a lot of people have seen me as competition, and with that has like moved in shisty ways. And like now I'm just like, all that shit doesn't fucking matter because at the end of the day, niggas is still gonna see me. I'm gonna still do my shit. And even from being from Lynn, like I felt as though like I come from a family of there's a lot of people in my family who do music and stuff like that. And with that, like I feel like there's been some, hateration, and people not giving flowers, but like it is what it is. I don't need those flowers. Like I'm gonna grow my fucking own. And I think that's what the Ninth Wonder is. And like how you said China season, like China season, you can see I feel like even though um it's like it's a Renaissance beat. It's like
Yeah.
I'm still talking my shit in like kind of like a Little Wayne type of way, if
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah,
Because
that makes
when I
sense.
when I wrote that song, I listened to what's that song? Three P before I wrote that song. I'm on it. Ooh, I'm on it. And it kind of has that little like that sound in the back. Like in that song, I feel like he's just talking my shit. I'm talking my shit there. In terms of like victory, like I don't need validation. Like I am my own validation. And so that one, she got that. I like she got that too because it's like it still pays like to where I first started as when I was rapping in that type of like mainstream. And then the Ninth Wonder and SmackDown. Those are my first songs, and the song with Figurson. Like those are my first songs where I'm trying to do something different with my voice in terms of like the splash and being able to, go back and forth with the talking and then doing my regular flow. And so like that's why I'm excited about what's to come because now I feel like on the Ninth Wonder was a good like okay, she deserves to be here. But then what's coming, it's like she deserves to be here and like she has perfected this now. Now
Yeah.
she could splash like, like dudes can splash. And like I don't think that anybody has heard a woman splash the way y'all about to hear, the way that I'm able to go back and forth with the different flows and cadences. And so like I think that the Ninth Wonder was like an album for me also developing a new skill.
Yeah.
Like I developed new skills while writing that album. And now I have perfected those skills on the next album.
Yeah.
And then it's a stepping stone.
Yeah, no, I mean the album's beautiful. And like I said, I listened to it from front to back. I'm still playing it. Um, I'm just a fan of I'm a fan of you. I'm a fan of your music. I'm a fan of your sound. Like I said before, I just don't think there's anybody doing what you're doing. And like, if you I pay close attention to the MCs a lot. You know what I mean? And like, I look around and like I see like, people giving flowers to the same people and, not really acknowledging the other people. And like I see all that and I'm just like, there's so many other people that are doing the same thing that these people that you keep, giving props to, which y'all just don't for whatever reason. Y'all don't wanna
Right.
y'all don't want to give them their props. So it's a shame on them for that.
Right.
Talk to me about SmackDown, Easty Knack. I know how much he means to Lynn, to the community. I was at the Eva show, which you performed at. So I got a chance to see like how much he means to the city of Lynn when I went to
Mm-hmm.
that. Incredible show, by the way. If you haven't been to an Eva Underground rap show, you definitely should go to one because it's incredible. A lot of great MCs at those events. How was that? How was like recording that song with him and like how was that for you? The video's dope, by the way, also.
I appreciate that. That was a stressful weekend, so appreciate that. Um So, honestly, like it was first of all because like Knack wasn't around during that time. Like I had sent him the vocals to see if he fucks with it. And then he fucked with it. So then he put a verse on it. So the thing is though, when he put a verse on it, and then his verse got sent back, and I was like, oh damn, like he's talking that shit. Like I need to change my verse a little bit to be able to match this. So then I went back and I changed my verse. And for me, like especially I listen to a beat so many times when I listen to and then when I record a song, I listen to it so many times that it is hard for me to be like, I gotta change this because I get set into it and I only listen to the track that way. But then when he was on there, then I that's another new skill that I developed in that moment. Is like, no, I need to go back and revise this shit and make it quality to like add up to like where he is at. And so when I first got his verse back, I rewrote my verse and then we did it. But I'm not so I'm humble. I'm a humble ass person. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna be real. When he was on my song, I was excited. I was cheesing in the studio. Like I was so amped and happy um that he heard this song and was like, yeah, I'm gonna get on this song. Especially because somebody like Knack is selective because he knows what he brings in terms of that. So for my shit to be fire and him wanting to get on it is like very like I don't know. That made me feel. It felt like a stamp, a little like
yeah, yeah.
good job, you doing your shit. Like keep
Yep,
that shit up. So, like
yep.
it definitely felt good to have him on that, and not only on one song on the album, but to have him on two. Um, yeah, it felt good with that, and I think that like I was pushed just on the fact of him being on the song alone.
Yeah, I mean the song is fire. Again, everybody out there, if you haven't heard the Ninth Wonder, you definitely should go put that in and listen to it. Smackdown is an unbelievable song. It's an unbelievable video also. But make sure y'all go and listen to that, man, because it's a great album. So um, let's transition a little bit. Talk to me about you being an assistant principal. Like, what does that mean to you?
Um, Being an assistant principal to me, like it just it's many things, but like I feel as though like I have a duty to do. Like I gotta our youth like to steer them in the right direction, but also to steer them in a direction that they can also create their own path and be the people that they want to be and choose to be. Why can't you be, I don't know, uh, a city councilor and a rapper at the same time? Or why can't you like create your own box? And I think that like we live in a white supremacy nation, obviously. And so like being able to learning how to like navigate that, but also learning how to create your own path against that. And I think that that's what my duty is as an assistant principal. And honestly, being an assistant principal has made me a better rapper. Being an educator in general, because like educators do everything. You're a doctor, you're a therapist, you're a teacher. You're like so many things in one day to a student that you develop all of these different skills and different outlooks on things. Like you learn how to give people grace, but then you also learn how to put up boundaries and then also teaching that to students as well. Like I just feel like I'm blessed to be in the position that I am in. But it definitely gets tough sometimes, like I don't want my students to see certain things, and I feel like sometimes people have a perception of hip hop that they don't hold to the same hold other things to the same expectations. Like for example, like I know that with my music there's a what's the word that I'm looking for? Like it's like this dynamic of like I shouldn't be doing that because I teach youth.
Yeah,
But it's
yeah,
like right. But you read books, like books, and books are crazy. Books be talking about wild stuff. But like a book wouldn't get backlash the way that hip hop does. Same thing with movies. Like movies, there's wild things in movies, but that wouldn't get a backlash like hip hop does. And it's like, I need to be true to myself and things that I experience and putting that in my music. And at the same time, like it's not up to me to what my students now gravitate towards and what they do, it's gonna be their choice. But I would never like put my music onto them. Like they don't know that I rap, and that's not something that I think that they should know or something that I disclose. But if they happen to find it, they find it. That's on them. Like that, I feel like that's not on me. But like I do definitely have this internal battle sometimes. Like how I was telling you, like, oh, should I post this? Or if I'm in a video and people are smoking, I'm like, oh, I don't want my kids to see this. But I just I think that at the same time, like that's the beauty of it because it's like I grew up in Lynn. I'm from Lynn. I have a certain lifestyle, and I'm educated. I'm an intellectual, and I think that like why can't those two things coexist at once?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
absolutely. No,
So
absolutely. Yeah, I was going to ask that. Like, has any of your students ever came across your music or came across your videos? Like, what is that? Like, what what's their reaction like when they find out that you rap?
it's mad funny because on the SmackDown video, he
Yeah,
was
yeah,
talking about one of my third graders wrote on there, "Let's hope this is fire." And I'm just like, I don't comment back. They say they be like, oh, I see your music videos. Sometimes there's kids in the school who be rapping the songs and like saying it, and I'm be like, okay, well, I'm Miss Hope right now, so if that's not school appropriate, we're not talking about it at school. We're still meeting the same expectations. We're not doing that. So I think that makes it easier when I'm at school because I'll be like, oh, that's not school appropriate, so we're not talking about that. This is Miss Hope, that's another side. So I'm a different person outside of work, but it is funny because I've seen students at shows. There was one show in Lynn that I seen a student at. I was like, "What the hell are you doing here?" But um, but yeah, I feel like it's every like once I run into it, I run into it, and I make that you know factor that like I'm two different people. This is Miss Hope in front of you right now. That's a different side that you don't know.
yeah. It's the same way for me with the podcast. Like a lot of my students, like they'll find the podcast and like because it's public. You know what I mean? Like I need to get the subscribers and I need people to watch it, so I'm not gonna make it private. You know what I mean? My TikTok is public. My Instagram podcast page is public. So, they'll go on there. But, the thing is, like, a lot of them are watching the episodes, they're making comments on them, and they're like, oh, this is so dope. This is so inspiring. So, you know what I mean? It goes hand in hand. Like, I don't think I've had any episodes where like it's just been like crazy. You know what I mean? Most of the people that I interview, like, they keep it together, you know what I'm saying? And like, but I also, it's my platform. Like, I also don't want people to censor themselves, be you, you know what I mean? And like, if they find it, they find it and it is what it is. I'm
Right,
not changing it though, because, this is what I do when I'm not Mr. Roberts and I'm not, teaching you, history. So, but yeah, I wanted to know like how do you handle that when they do find your music and they do come across your music?
right.
I've seen you perform twice. Um, so how is it like performing? Like, as far as like how is it for you performing? And then the second part to that is like, do you get nervous before you go on to perform?
Yeah. I get nervous, definitely get nervous. I get nervous because it's like, I am sensitive about my art in terms
Mhm.
of like in the way in which it presents. But I even show small or big, I get nervous. But I also like when you get down to it, you have to rise to the occasion. I think that like alternative of events in terms of me, because I used to not get nervous when I performed, but it changed when like I was on 106 in Park freestyle Friday and that I didn't win. Like that made me like that held me down for a minute because I was like just so hurt by that. But then after like I got over it. And then I think that I just now rise to the occasion when it's time to perform. What I will say about performances though, like just because I feel like don't accept everything. If you're a new artist and you're about to start performing, don't accept everything that is gonna come out there. Cause literally, like, you know, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like that last performance, like that shit was crazy. Like that was a living room. Like it's just like as a woman, I put so much into like to performing. Like I get my hair done. Like my hair's not cheap. I get my nails done. I get my lashes done. I get a new outfit. Sometimes they even get my makeup done. So then if I come and it's not the event, it's not that quality. It's like a disappointment.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what did I get myself into? Especially free shows. Don't do free shows, people. You wait. Do not do free shows. Don't do no, like I do local stuff, favors. I stopped doing the local shows because that's where my students go. So I tell them, like, in the local shows they do pay. So if you want to put on for your city and do little city shows, they pay, but you have to censor yourself, which is something I can't do. I have too many swears to censor myself with too many topics. So that's also, work to put in to make it censored. Then on top of that, I might see students, so I stopped doing those. But free shows, you can help out the community here and there, but once you keep doing the free shows, the same people are at the free shows. The people who are doing the open mics and stuff. If you want to go get practice performing, okay, that's different. But like if you're putting into yourself, you're taking time and money out to dress up, and also the people who be like, oh, I got a slot, pay for sell these tickets. Those are scams. Do not do those. I did free shows for so fucking long that I'm over it. I think that last show that I see you at, that was a prime fucking example. That was crazy. Where was the speakers? I can go. I can write a book on that show, but I won't. But that was like now that I'm thinking about that, and I got my hair done for that. Like,
So
I,
I'm not
you know what
even
I'm
go.
saying?
Yeah. I'm not even go.
Nothing
So I'm not. So shout out to Know It All. You know what I'm saying? Know It All was on the pod. Much love for him and his music and what he does. He's incredible. Also, Know It All out of Queens, New York. You know what I mean? Um. So like when I went to the show, because I was like, Big East tour. I'm just trying to make myself. I'm trying to go to more shows, trying to network a little bit more, get to know more artists. I know Jeff Porter was going to be on there. He also was on the pod. Shout out to Jeff Porter. So I was like, all right, that's my guy. Like I like him. I saw that you was on there. I was like, all right, yeah, this would be an opportunity to see both of y'all in one spot. I'm going to go. So I get there and I'm like, okay, this maybe this is just how the vibe is going to be. But then when I seen you walk in, I was like, yeah, you're definitely dressed like this is like a like it was like a like a tour stop, but like it was a big show. And I was like, I don't know. I mean, your facial expression didn't say it, but I was all right. Maybe she's all right with it. Maybe she's like, all right, I'm just gonna go ahead and do my thing, which you did. But I mean, I definitely understand what you were talking about.
disappointed. I walked into a living room, and shout out to Know It All, shout out to all of them, because nothing against them, because
Yeah,
they're from out of town. Like they probably didn't know what that event space was like,
yeah,
but the owner, the person who owned the space, they knew what it was and what it couldn't do. It was hard to turn off the lights. We was playing from laptops, speakers. I just like the talent in that room
yeah.
was too expensive for the space. And
Definitely,
that makes
definitely,
sense. And that
definitely.
goes for the whole
Yep,
entire roster. Everybody who
definitely.
was there. Like they should have had us because they do upstairs. There's a stage, there's all of that stuff. They got a little bar up there, everything. Like that's where we should have been. And yeah.
Yeah, I definitely feel what you were saying. It wasn't like, even like when I saw you at the Eva show, when I saw you perform there, like that to me, you know what I mean? So much
Yeah.
talent was in that room. That was perfect. You know what I
Right.
mean? That was perfect. So yeah, I definitely understand what you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
um,
Exactly. And the way in which that I dress for the Eva show is the same way that I dress for this show. And that's
yeah,
the same way I dress every fucking show. And I get my hair done, all of that, even like small things. So it's just like, if I'm putting in all of this time, like I need to get something back out of
yeah,
it. So it's like you
definitely.
gotta be selective because, yeah, I feel like I keep giving things a chance, and now I come to a place of either you're paying or somebody's gonna be there that I want to network with and talk to, and then I'm
Yeah.
gonna go. And then you know what? Shout out to that show though, because Sam bucked up. He followed me back, and that was a little win.
Shout
Other
out
than
to
that,
Sam. Shout out to Sam Buck.
shout out to Sam. That was a little win. But other
Shout
than
out to
that,
him.
I could have stayed home.
Yep.
Or
Shout out
I
to
could have
him.
just
Yeah, he's a good
So
dude too. I've been connecting with him, you know, on and off. So shout out to Sam Buck, you know what I mean, and what he's doing out here. Um, do like the days that you feel discouraged and the days that you feel like, you know what, I don't think this is good enough, or I don't know if this is ever going to work out. Like, how do you stay motivated?
I think that I don't really have days like that anymore because I got to a certain point in my music where I feel as though like if somebody doesn't like this song, that doesn't mean that this song isn't good. This just preference, but it did take a long time to get there. It took away. It's like it's really about self love. Like honestly, you gotta think that you gotta not think, you gotta know that you're the shit in any space, anything that you create. Like different music calls for different things. Like if you wrote a song, you are talented enough to know if that song is trash or not.
Yep.
Like I think it's simple as that. Um, and like with me, like I've been trying new things and trying to develop new skills, and with those skills I've sent songs out that it's like I'm second guessing it, and if I'm second guessing it, then I know that it's not it. And then when those other people hear it, like it's like I know what I can do and what is it and what it's not. So I feel like we have enough in ourselves to be like if this is trash or not. And I think that like as I'm going with these developing new things and doing new skills, it's like um there's gonna be trial and error.
Yeah.
So like if it's not it, I'm gonna listen to the feedback, go back, revise it so that it is it. Like if that makes sense. But in terms of being discouraged or feeling like, times in which that, oh, this is not for me, like as of late, I haven't had those moments. And I think that's because I'm at a place, just a better place in life in general. You gotta love yourself first. Like the niggas, there's people who are trash. Like I tell you trash. I've been to so many shows and they're trash, but then they get on stage and they're like, yeah, yeah. I went to a beat thing where people showcase their beats, and during that, this one producer, he just had all his friends up behind him, and he wasn't even playing beats. He was playing the songs that he recorded for them, and like no, I didn't fuck with all of them, but the fact that he was like in it and like selling it, his friends was in the back, he was making the crowd love the product.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like as long as you know like you got it, like you'll be surprised what people can do when you know your self worth, or you know yourself as the shit. Like there's so much you can do. But as soon as you start second guessing yourself and be like, ooh, like hey guys, like I got something to show, like that's when you already lost it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it's really about you.
Yeah. What's a quote that you live by?
A quote
Yeah.
that I live by. I don't know. That's tough. It's always a new quote. I don't know. What's my quote as of late? Because I've been saying this at school too with the kids. Like that's unacceptable. So that's my quote. If I go into a space and I know that this is not worth my time, it's unacceptable. Like I'm not settling for less. So that's my quote right now. My quote is forever changing. Unacceptable. Like not okay. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
deserve more and I need more.
Yeah. I mean I have the same one. I mean I've said this on many episodes that I've done, and um it's just my favorite one. I say it to my students all the time. I just feel like, and this is from Nipsey Hussle, rest in peace to Nip, but the highest human act is to inspire. I
Hmm.
think that that's the best thing that you can do for people, is just try to inspire, try to uplift them, try to motivate them, and just try to stay consistent in doing that. And like, it took me a while to understand. Like when I first started this, you know what I mean. It was I started around like COVID. Um, it was just around the time when podcasts were starting to become very popular. And I was like, all right, let me play my hand with this. But what I told myself was, I'm going to make sure that I go, 10 toes down in this, and I'm going to stay consistent. And because I've stayed consistent, you know what I mean? I've been able to connect with people like you, people like Jeff Porter. I had the DOC on here. The DOC is one of my favorite rappers of all time. You know what I mean? And the biggest thing he said to me was, he said, you're so consistent. You know what I mean? Like you're constantly coming out with episodes. You're constantly promoting yourself. He was like, I like that. So consistency. has gotten me just a lot of interviews and got me a lot of respect from a lot of people. So that is my quote, and also just stay consistent.
I love that. Consistency is key.
Um, what do you want your legacy to be?
Um, I feel like I want my legacy to be something that like never ends. Like,
Okay.
generational legacy, generational wealth. I feel like just outside of the music, black people in general just getting what we deserve, and also just like building it up for others so that this constant pattern of struggle and you know generational trauma is like put to a halt. So like I feel like my legacy is, I just want it to be beyond the music, you know what I mean? Like I double majored in English, but also Africana studies. And so, like, I don't want to be seen as one thing. I don't want to just be seen as an MC. I want to be seen as all the things that I am. And leaving that behind in a way, it's not just a space to remember me, but in a way that it's like my kids are benefiting off of that. My kids are benefiting off of that, and they're able to create their own thing. So I really feel like I want my legacy to be an impact that's beyond me.
Yeah, no, I like that. It's a great answer. I asked everybody this question: 10 people you could invite to dinner, dead or alive. Who you're inviting?
Okay, this is tough. Like I feel like I should have took, I don't know, wrote notes. I have Nicki Minaj, definitely. Oh, hold on, my earpiece fell out.
Okay.
Okay, back. Nicki Minaj, definitely. I'll say Lil Kim. Maybe we
Okay.
could hash that out and make that rectify that. Um, then I would also invite Dr. Umar. Love him. You know what I'm saying? He, somebody. Cat Williams. I would also invite Amanda Seales.
Man, this is okay.
What I oh, so there's just so many. Michelle Obama.
Okay.
And this is like, this is I mean, it depends what the goal of the dinner is. It really depends what the goal of the dinner is. Because I'm just saying, people I like. I would invite Lil Wayne, Jay-Z. Who else do I fuck with? You know what I'm saying? And then you know what? We can have a +2. They can pick 2 people that they want to invite, and we'll do that. But it really depends on the goal of the dinner. That was a hard question. That was like one of those Facebook memes.
No, I've asked that question so many times, and I think when I have time, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna put all the guests I've had on. I'm gonna take that question and I'm just gonna make a reel out of it just to see. I mean, because everybody has had interesting people at their dinner. Like Dr. Umar's never been named. Nicki Minaj has never been named, surprisingly, or Little Kim. So your dinner is a little bit different than the ones that I've heard.
Because I'm mixed. I like I love class, bougie, with a little ratch. You know what I'm saying? It
Yeah.
all depends on the vibe. You gotta have different vibes to elevate the dinner.
What do you think about 2 more questions? What do you think about the state of hip hop?
I think that, like, many people be like, oh, hip hop is dead, but I feel like it's alive and well. I think that, people only know about what they choose to listen to.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I really feel like with the state of hip hop, once niggas hear my shit, like, they're gonna see a little evolution.
Okay. I like that. Top 5 rappers of all time.
Of all time. All right. And then people listening, don't judge my list because this is what I believe. In no particular order.
Okay.
No particular order. This is what I believe. Nicki Minaj.
Okay.
ST Knack.
Lil Wayne.
Conway the Machine.
Conway the Machine.
That
Yeah.
+4.
Yeah.
and Makami.
Okay.
Those are my.
Okay. What is next for you? I have in my phone the song that you performed. I'm not gonna name the song. They'll hear it when it comes out because you told me do not share the song.
Don't share the
So I
song.
did not share it. It's in my phone. But what's next for you? Like, you know, what's the next album? When's the next album coming? Or, you know, so what's up next?
The next album is coming soon. It's coming soon. It's almost done. I got a couple of songs. Like I'll sing you one song.
Okay.
Just so that you can see like, you know, where it's going at, the direction that it's going in. The direction is very high level raps. You know, it's giving that, but it's also giving. You know, you learn something when you listen to my music is what I feel. So that's what it's giving. That song that I did
Yeah.
that night, like, I don't know, I love that song. I love that song because it's like that's not really the direction of that my album's going in, but I love that song because to me, and like I know many underground, because I had a conversation with the producer about it, like, um underground is very passionate about the lane in terms of, like, you know, not adhering to the mainstream and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But to me, I feel like that song is a good mesh. Like, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not into underground hip hop and you hear that song, you're gonna fuck with it. If you're into underground hip hop and you hear that song, you're gonna fuck with it. That's what I like about it, because to me, I think it's bringing together two things. That's why I fuck with that song. But the album that I have is just high level raps from beginning to end.
Okay. I can't wait to hear it. I know it's gonna be
I'll sing
good.
one song. I'm
Okay.
singing one song.
Yeah, send me one song because I definitely wanna check that out and hear it. What's some advice you would give me?
Give you?
Yep. Last question.
Okay. I think some advice that I would give is just like, you know, how you said with your own quote, consistency, keep on going. I think that, like, you know, there's something for everybody. And like once you go that, your fan base keeps on going and keeps on developing. I think that, like, staying true to your path, similar, we connect on, oh, not me doing the school symbols. We connect on the fact that, like, we're educators, but also we have this love for hip hop, and never having to choose between the two.
Yeah.
Embracing both identities and knowing that we don't have to be a monolith. And I think that yeah, and keep doing what you're doing.
No, thank you very much. My advice for you, just continue doing what you're doing as far as being, you know, a great assistant principal, and being a great MC. I think that you are very, very good at MCing. You know, I'm a big fan of your music. I'm a big fan of your sound. I've told you this online, offline. I just like everything about you and what you have to offer. And I just hope that you just don't ever change that. Don't ever change that. Don't let anybody tell you that you should change that, because there's nobody, and I mean nobody, doing what you're doing. And as a hip hop lover, we need that. You know, what you're doing, we need that in hip hop. So just please don't change. Just keep doing it. Keep giving us great music. Again, I'm going to say it again. If you haven't heard Ninth Wonder, you should definitely go ahead and check that out right away, because it's incredible. And I just appreciate you so much. So, you know, thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. All right.